Hello and welcome to the In-Depth Insider, our quarterly look at issues facing the airline industry. I'm Scott Hunt and I'm joined today by Dana Knight, who's a Solutions Director here at Sabre Airline Solutions. And Dana also served on the United States FAA's Task Force 5 for NextGen. So Dana, can you tell us a little bit, we hear a lot about NextGen, really what is it?
NextGen is a migration from the airplanes having to navigate via what we call ground-based equipment. So today, the airplanes are really communicating almost via a radio signal, and they're having to follow certain paths through the sky. So they're very restricted with how you can fly in some places more than others. What the main plan of NextGen is to migrate from this ground-based navigation to a satellite-based navigation. So now this will open up. This won't be as restrictive for the airplanes to be flying specific highways, and look at it that way. So it'll really open it up. It'll give the airlines more freedom to be able to navigate from point to point.
So where are we in this process of migrating, and where are we going from here?
Well, you mentioned the Task Force 5. What Task Force 5 was a group of industry people, both airlines as well as private industry, got together to try to determine how can we achieve some of the benefits that are out there with the NextGen without having to spend a lot of money to re-equip our aircraft. So that's what we've done. That report was submitted. There's various of those items that were identified that are going to be put into effect to try to help the airlines reduce some of their costs and operate more efficiently. The next phase would be, as we start to migrate more towards a satellite navigation, is when it'll come into play where there's going to be a re-equipage of the aircraft. So there's going to be a lot more equipment that's going to be required on the airplanes to be able to use the satellite navigation. The Task Force 5 recommendations, the near-term goal is that a significant number of these will be in place by 2018. The final plan for NextGen is 2025.
What are some of the benefits of this migration to satellite-based?
It'll be a reduction in costs for the airlines. I mean, by the simple fact that you're not restricted to operate between a certain road, between point A and B, you'll have more freedom to take advantage of wind and weather. So you reduce your time on the aircraft, you reduce your fuel burn, and the benefit of reducing your fuel burn would be a reduction in CO2 emission.
And how does the EU's Sabre program factor into this as well?
It's similar, at the same time different. What the European Commission has done is they've taken a different view. They've broken up the work into various work packages to how are we going to get from where we are today to where we want to be. We're involved in a consortium that's dealing with how does the Operations Control Center for the airlines and also any type of corporate aviation, how are they going to work from their systems on the ground to communicate with the air traffic control system and sharing data. Both Sabre and NextGen have a lot to do with sharing of data, both back and forth.
Are there any similar initiatives around the world and other places?
There's initial discussions that are going on. We know in China as well as India. Neither one at this point are as advanced as either NextGen or Sabre, but we fully expect that they will catch up very quickly.
All right. Well, thank you, Dana. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about NextGen or Sabre or the ATC initiatives, feel free to send an email to wearelistening@sabre.com. We also invite you to read the rest of the content in this quarter's Insider newsletter, and we'll be back with you again next quarter.